Hello, in this lecture we will find the area of the blue triangle. In the picture we have a rectangle that contains three right triangles. The areas of those three right triangles are given to us, and the rectangle also contains the blue triangle. Actually, in order to find the area of the blue triangle, we have to know the area of the rectangle, and after we know the area of the rectangle, we will subtract from the area of the rectangle the areas of the three right triangles that are given to us. So let's define the width of the rectangle as A. And the length of this rectangle will be defined as B. And the area of rectangle is the length of the rectangle times the width of the rectangle. Okay, so we will write it down. We will call the area A. So the area of the rectangle equals to the width of the rectangle times the length of the rectangle. So the area of this rectangle equals to A times B. So the only thing that is missing is the value of A times B, and after we know the value of A times B, we will subtract from it the area of the three right triangles that are given to us. And the general formula for the area of a triangle equals to the base of the rectangle of the triangle times the height to the base divided by 2. So the general formula for the area of a triangle is the base of the triangle times the height to the base divided by 2. Okay, the area of a rectangle is the length of the rectangle times the height of the rectangle. In our case is A times B. In the area, the formula for the area of a triangle equals to the base of the triangle times the height to the base, all divided by 2. Okay, so let's define the base of this triangle, that is area is 15 units. Let's define it as y. And the area of the triangle, or the base of the triangle, that is area is 12 units, will be the length of the rectangle, that is B, minus the base of this triangle, that is y. So it is B minus y. So B minus y is the base of the triangle, that is area is 12 units. In the same way, we will define the height of the triangle, that is area is 27 units, as x. Okay, the height of the triangle, that is area is 27 units, we will define it as x. And the height of the triangle, that is area is 12 units, will be the width of the rectangle, that is A, minus the height of the triangle, that is area is 27 units, that is x. So the height of the triangle, that is area is 12 units, is A minus x. The width of the rectangle minus the height of the triangle, that is area is 27 units. Okay, so we will use the formula for the area of a triangle, the base times the height divided by 2 is the area of a triangle. We will use this formula in order to create the areas, or in order to calculate the areas of the three triangles. Although we know that the area of this triangle is 15 units, and the area of this right triangle is 12 units, and the area of this right triangle equals to 27 units, we will calculate the formula for those areas that are given to us. Okay, first we will start with the formula for the area of this triangle. So the formula will be the base of the triangle, that is y, times the height of the triangle, that is A, divided by 2 equals to the area of this triangle. But we have already know that the area equals to 15 units, so we can add to the formula that A equals to 15 units, okay? So again, the formula for the area of this triangle equals to the base of the triangle, that is y, times the height to the base, that is A, divided by 2 equals to the area. But we have already know that the area equals to 15, so we will add that the area equals to 15 units. Or we can rewrite this formula, y times A divided by 2 equals to. So again, the area of the triangle is the base of the triangle, that is y, times the height of the triangle, that is A, divided by 2. The area equals to 15 units because it is given to us. The area of this triangle is 15 units. Then we will calculate the area of this triangle. The area equals to the base of the triangle, that is B, times the height, that is X. So the area of the triangle, of this triangle, equals to the base of the triangle, that is B, times the height of the triangle, that is X, divided by 2. Equals to the area of this triangle, but we have already known that the area equals to 27 units, so we will write immediately that it equals to 27 units. So again, the area of this triangle equals to the base of the triangle, that is B, times the height of the triangle, that is X, divided by 2. It equals to 27 units because it is given to us. Okay, B times X divided by 2 equals to 27 units, okay? B times X divided by 2 equals to 27 units. And the area of this triangle equals to the base of the triangle, that is B minus y, times the height of the triangle, that is A minus X, divided by 2. And the area equals to 12 units. So we will write it down. The base of the triangle, that is B minus y, times the height of the triangle, that is A minus X, all divided by 2, equals to the area of this triangle, that is 12 units. Okay? The base of the triangle, that is B minus y, times the height of the triangle, that is A minus X, divided by 2, equals to the area of this triangle, that is 12 units. So we created 3 equations for the 3 right triangles, for the area of these 3 right triangles. The next step is to take out x and y, out of their equations. Okay. First of all, we will take y out of the first equation. Okay. The first equation is y times a divided by 2 equals to 15 units. This is the first equation. The base of the triangle times the height of the triangle divided by 2 equals to 15 units. This is the area of this right triangle. So we will multiply both sides of the equation by 2. We will get that y times a equals to 30. 15 times 2 is 30. Here we can divide both sides of the equation by a, because a is the width of the rectangle, so it is a positive number. It can never be 0, so it is allowable to divide the first equation by a. So y equals to 30 over a. So we took out y. We took y out of the equation of the first equation, and we got the expression of y after we divided the two sides of the equation by a. We got that y equals to 30 over a. Okay, we will do the same thing on x. We'll take x out of the second equation. The second equation is actually b times x divided by 2 equals to 27. Okay, this is the second equation. We will take x out of this equation. We will multiply both sides of the equation by 2. We will get that p times x equals to 54. Okay. Actually, b times x divided by 2 times 2 is b times x, and 27 multiplied by 2 equals to 54. Now we can divide both sides of the equation by b, because b is the length of the triangle, so it can never be 0, so it is allowable to divide both sides of the equation by b. So we will get that x equals to 54 over b. So I repeat again. We divided both sides of this equation by b. We got that x equals to 54 over b. And we have already know that from the first equation that y equals to 30 over a. Okay, so we took out x and y out of their equations. In the next step, we will substitute x by 54 over b and y by 30 over a in the third equation. So the third equation is b minus y times a minus x divided by 2 equals to 12. Okay, this is the third equation, b minus y times a minus x divided by 2 equals to 12. We can multiply both sides of the equation by 2. We will get that b minus y times a minus x equals to 24. Okay, we multiply both sides of the equation by 2. 12 times 2 is 24. Now we substitute x by 54 over b and y by 30 over a in this equation, the third equation. We get that b minus y equals to 30 over a times a minus x equals to 54 over b all equals to 24. So in this third equation we substituted x by 54 over b and y by 30 over a. Okay, y is substituted by 30 over a and x is substituted by 54 over b. Okay, now we can open the brackets So after we open the brackets, we got that b times a equals to ba, or a bit is the same, b times negative 54 over b is negative 54, and negative 30 over a times a is negative 30, and negative 30 over a times negative 54 over b equals to positive 1620 divided by ab, all equals to 24. Now we can substitute 24 from both sides of the equation. We will get that a b minus negative 54, negative 30, negative 24 plus 1620 divided by AB equals to 0. So after we substituted 24 from both sides of the equation, here everything is the same, but we actually substituted 24 from this side of the equation, and here it is actually 24 minus 24 equals to 0. Okay, now negative 54, negative 30, negative 24 equals to negative 108, so we will write it down. Okay, everything is the same, but here negative 54, negative 30, negative 24 equals to negative 108. The rest is the same. We copied 1620 divided by a, we copied it here, and we copied AB from here to here. So here we can multiply both sides of the equation by AB, because A is the width of this rectangle, and A is the width of this rectangle, and B is the length of this rectangle. So both of them are positive numbers, so A times B can never be 0, so we can multiply both sides of the equation by AB. So AB times AB is AB square. So AB times AB is AB square, and negative 108 times AB is negative 108 AB, and 1620 divided by AB times AB is 1620. So we got there a quadratic equation, and the variable in this quadratic equation is AB. So the general formula or the general form or formula is the same. The general form of a quadratic equation actually is a times x squared plus b times x plus c equals to 0. Okay. So this is the general formula or form of a quadratic equation: a times x squared plus b times x plus c equals to 0. And a, b, and c are the coefficients of the quadratic equation, while x is the variable of the quadratic equation. Okay, so I'll write it down. So a, b, and c are the coefficients of the quadratic equation, and x is the variable that we are looking for. Okay, a, b, and c are the coefficients. A, b, and c are the coefficients of a quadratic equation, and x is the variable that we are looking for, and actually the values of x are also called the root or the roots of a quadratic equation. So we usually want to find the value of x in any quadratic equation, and in order to find the value of x in a quadratic equation, we have a special equation for x, a special general equation that will help us to find the value or the values of x. X might have more than one value. Okay? X can have also two different values. And the values of x, as I've already said, are the roots of the quadratic equation. So the general formula that will help us to find the value of x, the value of the variable x, is x equals to minus b plus minus root of b square minus 4 AC, all divided by 2 times A. So the general formula that will help us to find the value of the variable x are x equals to minus b plus minus shows root of b square minus 4 times a times c divided by 2 times a. When a, b and c are the coefficients of the quadratic equation, this is a, b and c, and as you can see in the special equation for x we have minus b plus minus, so that implies that we might have two different solutions for x. The first solution will be minus b plus root of this, or the second solution will be x equals to minus b minus the root of this. Okay, so now we will implement what we learned here in our specific quadratic equation. First of all, we will find the values of x, that is the variable of a quadratic equation, and the values of a, b and c, that are the coefficients of a quadratic equation in our specific quadratic equation. Okay, first of all, I will write again the general formula for a quadratic equation is a times x square plus b times x plus c equals to 0. So this is the general formula of a quadratic equation. Below I will write our specific quadratic equation, and then we will find the value of a, b, c and x. So our specific quadratic equation is actually a times b square minus 108 times ab plus 1620 equals to 0. So this is our specific quadratic equation that we got from our three equations for the right triangles. From the three equations we derived this quadratic equation, and in this equation, first of all, I will multiply this expression by 1. It is allowable because every expression or number that you multiply by 1 is not changed. Okay, 5 times 1 equals to 5. Every number that you multiply by 1 is not changing by this multiplication. So it is allowable. Okay. And now, as you can see, the value of a in our quadratic equation equals to 1. And the value of x equals to a times b. The value of b equals to negative 108. The value of x is a times b, and the value of c is positive 1620. Okay, so I will write it down. A, B, and C are the coefficients of a quadratic equation, and x is the variable that we are looking for. Okay, A equals to 1. X equals to a times b. B equals to negative 108. And C equals to 1620. Okay, A equals to 1, x equals to a times b, b equals to negative 108, and c equals to positive 1620. Okay. So x is the variable that we are looking for, and in our specific quadratic equation, x equals to a times b, and a times b is the area of this rectangle, and after we will find the area of this rectangle, we will subtract from this area the values, or the sum of the values of the areas of the free right triangles, and this will give us the area of the blue triangle. Okay, so we will use the spatial equation for x in order to find the value of the values of x that in our specific quadratic equation x is equals to a times b, that is the area of the rectangle. Okay, first of all we write the general formula for x. So again, this is the general formula for x. X equals to minus b plus minus. As I already told you, plus minus is actually implies that we will have two different solutions for x. So x equals to minus b plus minus root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2a. So in our specific quadratic equation, in this quadratic equation, x equals to a times b, a equals to 1, b equals to negative 108, and c equals to positive 1620. So we will write all the data that we have here in order to find the value of x, that is to say, in order to find the value of a times b that equals to x. So x equals to a times b, and it is equals to minus b equals to minus 108. So minus b equals to minus 108, that is plus 108, because negative times negative is positive. So it is 108 plus minus the root of b squared. B equals to negative 108, so it is negative 108 square minus 4 times AC (4 times A is 4 times 1 because A equals to 1) times C equals to 1620, so it is 4 times 1 times 1620. All divided by 2 times A, and A equals to 1, so it is 2 times 1. So again, I will repeat, x equals to AB, here we have minus b, b equals to negative 108 or minus 108, so minus b is minus 108, that is plus 108, plus minus the root of b squared, b equals to negative 108, so it is negative 108 squared, minus 4 times a times 6, this is 4 times a equals to 1, this is 4 times 1, times c equals to 1620, so it is 4 times 8 times 1620. So we will do here the all divided by 2 times 8, that is 2 times 1 because a equals to 1. We will do here the calculations. A times b equals to 108 negative 108 square equals to 11,664 minus 4 times 1 times 1620 equals to 6,480, all divided by 2. Repeat again. Negative 108 square equals to 11,664 minus 4 times 1 times 1620 equals to 6,480, divided by 2 times 1 is divided by 2. Now we subtract 6,480 from 11,664, and we will get that 5,184 so 11,664 minus 6,480 equals to 5,184, and the root of 5,184 equals to 72. Okay, the root of 5,184 equals to 72, and 108 plus 72 equals to 180. So 108 plus 72 equals to 180, and 180 divided by 2 equals to 90. So A times B, that is x, our variable equals to 90 units, and A times B is also the area of the rectangle, but we have another solution. It will be 108. This this was 108 plus 172, and another solution will be 108 minus 72. Minus 72 divided by 2. So the second solution for A times B is 108 minus 72 divided by 2. 108 minus 72 is 36, and 36 divided by 2 is 18. So according to this answer, the area A times B, that is the area of this rectangle, equals to 18 units. But this answer is incorrect, because even the area of this right triangle is 27 units, that is greater than 18, and the rectangle contains those three right triangles. So the area of the rectangle must be greater from the area of those three right triangles, or from the sum of the areas of those three right triangles, that are 54 units. So the area of the rectangle must be greater than 54 units. So 18 units is incorrect answer. So the only answer that is left is that the area of the rectangle, to say A times B, equals to 90 units. Okay? So the area of this rectangle is 90 units, and the area of this rectangle minus the sum of the areas of these three right triangles equals to the area of the blue triangle. So the area of the rectangle, that is 90 units, minus the sum of the areas of the right triangles, that is 12 plus 27 plus 15, is equals to the area of the blue triangle, or 90 units minus the sum of the area of these three triangles is 54 units, equals to 36 units. So the area of this right triangle equals, the area of this blue triangle is the area of the rectangle minus the sum of the areas of the three right triangles. That is to say, the area of the blue triangle equals to 90 minus 54, that is 36 units. Okay, so the area of the blue triangle equals to 36 units. Okay, so we can summarize the lecture. We actually wanted to find out the area of this blue triangle, and as you can see from the picture, the area of this blue triangle equals to the area of the rectangle minus the sum of the areas of the three right triangles. And because of the fact that the area of those three right triangles is given to us, the only thing that we need to find is the area of this rectangle and the area of the rectangle equals to the length of the rectangle times the width of the rectangle. In our case it is A times B, so in order to find the area of the triangle, we have to find the value of A times B. So in order to find the value of A times B, we created three equations that are actually the expressions for the areas of those three triangles that are given us, but we actually created or calculated the areas of these three right triangles that are given to us. So the area of this, or the formula for the area of this right triangle, is the base of the triangle times the height divided by 2. So it is y times a divided by 2 equals to 15. The area of this right triangle is in the same way b times x divided by 2 equals to 27, and the area of this right triangle is b minus y times a minus x divided by 2 equals to 12. So we created three equations for the areas of those three right triangles, and from these three equations we got a quadratic equation where a times b were the variable of this quadratic equation. And after we solved after we find the variable of the quadratic equation, we solved that quadratic equation. We found the roots of the quadratic equation that we created. We found that the value of the variable of the quadratic equation, that is a times b, equals to 90, or it can be equal also to 18 degrees, but 18 units. But 18 units is incorrect answer, because the sum of the areas of the three right triangles that the rectangle contains is 54. So the area of the rectangle must be greater than 54 units. So 18 units is incorrect answer, and the only answer that is left is 90 units. So the area of the rectangle is 90 units, and when we subtract from this area the sum of the areas of the three right triangles, we will get the area of this blue triangle. So we subtracted the area of the rectangle, that is 90 units, minus the sum of the areas of the three right triangles is 54 units, and we got that the area of the blue triangle equals to 36 units. Okay, the area of the triangle minus the sum of the areas of the three right triangles equals to the area of the blue triangle. So that is to say 90 degrees minus 90 units minus 54 units equals to 36 units. That is the area of the blue triangle. Okay, thank you very much.